Chris, I'm sure you'll be asked about it, so I will anyway. The Poppy question. It was a really tough decision for the FAWales. Do you back what the decision they've made, and how do you look upon it, you and the players?
No, of course. We back the FA. There's a lot being said about it. In fact, the game's live on TV tomorrow night, and we're standing by the rule that FIFA put in place. We've been respectful of that, and I back our decision to do that. Remembrance Day's today, though, and that's where we'll be showing our respects in the right manner. As we always do, I've said this before, we're very respectful of Remembrance Day. We know the sacrifices that was made by the men and women who lost their lives for us. So we're very respectful of that, and so we should be. And that's today, Remembrance Day, and that's where we'll be showing our respects in the right and proper manner.
And given everything else that you're doing towards armistice on the day of the game, around the game itself, special measures which have been taken, do you feel that some of the criticism has been unfair? Would you say that?
That's the way it's going to be, Rob, to be honest. There'll be certain people, unfortunately, using it as a vehicle to just give their opinion, whether or not they like us or not. Maybe it's an excuse to have a little dig at us. I'm quite sure other people are using it for their own benefit. It's just how it is, unfortunately, sadly. But to say that we're not being respectful when, like you rightly say, the measures we're going to today and tomorrow, I think the criticism's going to come, but we don't listen to that. When we'll ignore that.
On the game, Chris, you said when you announced the squad that you felt there was an edge missing from the last camp, that you needed it back. Is it back?
Yeah, I've seen it this week. We've seen it. I don't want to sound too critical of the guys in the last camp. Like I said, we're unbeaten so far in this campaign. We're only 2 points behind the leaders. The last 15 campaign games, the return from the players in terms of performances and points has been fantastic. So we don't want to get too carried away, but we want to keep pushing on. We talked about complacency and comfort zone, and we don't want to go anywhere near that. So this will be as big a test tomorrow as we've had, and it's a great challenge for us. We've talked about it this week, how we're going to go about our business. We know all about them, so I'm looking forward to this game tomorrow. I think it'll be one of the best games of the campaign.
Last one for me, is Aaron Ramsey ready to start, and how is he looking?
He's ready, and he looks great.
That good?
That good.
I was going to say, you say the edge is back with Wales. Serbia have definitely got their edge back. New manager talking about instilling passion, having to love your country. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, no, that's right. And it's funny how it works, because the first campaign, I was speaking to Al a lot about Serbia and Croatia and how they go about it when they represent their country, and we wanted to be more like that in terms of having that fire every time we walk onto that pitch, and we have got that. So now they had a poor campaign in the last one, for their standards. So now the new manager's come in and he's instilled his own beliefs. He's gone playing very good football. They're exciting, and they're certainly the team at the moment in this group that started the best, but not unbeatable by any stretch. This is going to be a good game tomorrow. Two good teams, and I think it'll be a good game. I think if you look at our first three games and their first three games, quite possibly there's going to be goals. So we've just got to make sure we come out on top in our little personal battles, and we've said earlier, we've got that edge about us, because the atmosphere will be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to a good night.
Chris, is Ben Davies missing, and obviously James Collins as well. Likely to tinker with the formation, or is it going to be sort of like for like?
I tinker with it a lot, to be honest. Even when if we play three at the back, I tinker with the midfield, or I'll tinker with the strikers, and it would be pretty much a little bit about the opposition and how they set up. And so I can see why people look at us, no James Collins and no Ben and no Jazz Richards, and think, well, our options are, But fact of the matter is, Chris Gunter can play in there with the three centre halves, and he's done it to great effect, great experience. Paul Dummett can play as the third centre half, so we have got options, I think there's no complaints from us. It would have been nice to have Big Ginger's experience and his presence, and of course Ben Davis, outstanding young player. Jazz Richards has done a great job for us, but that's the way it goes. You're not going to get your strongest squad every game. We know that. I'm not complaining. That's how it is. We get on with it, and we keep moving on.
Chris, can you talk a little bit? You're saying Aaron Ramsey fit and looks great. Can you talk a little bit about his value and his contribution?
Yeah, it is. We've been out without him for the first three games, so it's a blow for us. That it's a blow for anyone with that type of quality, and it's disappointing and frustrating when our games come around, that they're huge challenges. It's another chance for us to, as a staff, we work on how can we get this performance right. We always work on that performance, and we've always got a great chance of beating anybody when we're at our strongest. And you have to say, without Aaron Ramsey, take him out of any team, and it's going to be it's a loss. So it's nice to have him back. He hasn't played too much football for Arsenal. Of course, he's going to start the game tomorrow. As we sit here now, he's going to start the game tomorrow. It's obvious. However long he lasts physically, we don't know. We do know that generally he's probably one of the fittest players playing football. But looking at the history of the last maybe 2 months, we've got to see where he's at. But he'll start the game.
I was listening to the radio coming in. Harry Redknapp described you as having one world-class player, obviously referring to Gareth. How near is Aaron to that level?
Oh yeah, good Aaron play. Because I've seen him up close. I seen him in the tournament. See the level where he took his game. He can play for anybody. I think, my personal opinion, he could play for. There's not a team on the planet that he couldn't play for. When he's at his best and at his fittest, there's not a team that he couldn't play for. And that's not a biased opinion, because I'm a Welshman and we all love Rambo, and I'm looking at it clinically. Playing in a tournament against the top teams, and he was head and shoulders in some of his performances above anything. So, in my opinion, yeah, he could play for anyone.
Chris, it's not make or break game, it's not a must win, but it's probably a pivotal match, the way the group has gone, the way it's that sense of how big it is, it's not lost.
No, I think we've only got 10. Well, we've got 7 games now, so every game is you can't miss it, and you can't miss that opportunity to try and take a step forward. If we win, we're not going to qualify. If we lose, it doesn't mean we're not going to qualify. But we need to get the performance right, and we need to make another statement, because now we don't play till after Christmas. It's a long time, so we've got to get performance right. Got to get our mindset right. I've got complete faith in the players, in terms of they're focused on our game plan. That's always 9 times out of 10. That's always been fantastic, and so I've got complete confidence in them. We just got to make sure that a little bit in the last game when we were here, like I said, maybe we strayed from the formula a little bit. You can play this formation and that formation, but it's about your mindset and your attitude and mentality. And once ours is right, and normally it is, we're always in with a chance of a result, And that's got to be the same tomorrow, because it doesn't feel that long ago I was sat here before the first game talking about we've got to get to halfway through the group and be in with a chance. and that time is approaching. You know, this is the 4th game, so we've got to make sure we get it right tomorrow.
This will be the last question. Sorry, this will be the last question.
Bury some ghosts while you do it as well.
Yeah, you know, this team is the last time we played here. It was the last time we lost in a campaign game, which is some time ago. But I think they're a different team, and so are we, you know. That's a scar that, you know, we can't take it away. It's there. But I won't be saying to the players tomorrow, we've got to make up for that, because that's gone. You know, that performance, or that lack of performance, we've more than made up for that. So that's gone. This is two different teams tomorrow, 2 different objectives. So you can't take it away. No, you can't. But you know, we have moved on. I think they have as well.